If you've ever used a copy machine to make enlargements or reductions of images, you're already familiar with the concept of scale. Just like we can make our images larger or smaller using a copy machine, we can make our entities larger or smaller by using the scale command. Let's play around with scale. I'm going to open a couple of drawings. I'm going to come up and click on my Open icon. Inside the Chapter 9 folder within our Exercise Files directory, I'm going to scroll down. I've got 3 drawings that I'd like to use within my Chapter 9 demonstration. So I'm going to click my MP3 player drawing and highlight it. And then I'm going to hold my Shift key, and I'm going to click the basketball drawing, and I've highlighted all 3 of these files. Now I'm going to come over and click my Open button, and AutoCAD will open all 3 of these drawings. Since AutoCAD supports the multiple document environment, each of these drawings is open. For right now, we're going to work with the MP3 player. Let's say I'd like to make a design change to this guy. I would like to change the size of the thumb wheel. I can do that by using the Scale command. If I'd like to adjust the scale, I'm going to come over to my Modify toolbar and click my Scale icon. When I do, AutoCAD's asking me to select objects. Which objects would I like to resize? Now I do have several objects here, so I'm going to click in the upper left-hand corner outside my thumb wheel, and we'll create a nice window around all of these entities. Let me click to finish the window, and then we'll right-click so that AutoCAD knows we're done selecting objects. Now that they're selected, AutoCAD's asking me to specify a base point. At what point would I like my geometry to get larger or smaller? Well, I'm going to use the center point of the thumb wheel, and I happen to have a running object snap set for center, so I'm going to move my cursor onto the arc and click. Notice as I move my cursor, I'm getting a rubber band effect for my scale. Now I could free pick a point on the screen if I wish, but instead I'm going to type in a scale factor. Notice that the current scale factor setting is 1. 1 means essentially no change. It would be a 1-to-1 scale. I'm going to type in 0.5 for my scale and hit enter. I just converted that thumb wheel to half its original size. Let's scale it again. I'm going to access scale through the right click. I'm going to right click, go to repeat scale, select objects. Let's use a key in. How about if I said P for previous and hit enter? I just reselected that geometry. Let me right click to finish the selection. Specify base point. Once again, I'm going to make this larger or smaller based on its center point. So I'm going to move my cursor onto the arc and click. And this time I'm going to apply a scale factor of 2. I would like to make this thumb wheel twice as big as it is right now. When I hit enter, I just changed the scale. Now this is an example of using the scale command for a design change. Scale also comes in handy when we have trouble with our units. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to close this drawing. Let me come up and click the little X to close this drawing. And remember that I still have 2 other drawings open. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to come up to my window pull down, and I'm going to come down and select Tile vertically. This will give me a nice side-by-side of each of my drawings. If I click in a window, that window becomes active, so I can adjust my view. Let me pan this guy a little bit. Let me click in my basketball drawing. We'll pan him over just a little bit. Now, the drawing on the left was created such that 1 unit equals 1 foot. The drawing on the right was created such that 1 unit equals 1 inch. Watch this. I'm going to drag my basketball from its drawing into the basketball court drawing. I can do that by clicking on the entity, and as soon as it highlights, I'm going to click and hold on the dashed line, and I can drag this into the court drawing. I'll release. Notice my basketball is coming in way too big. Why? Because in this drawing, AutoCAD just sees 9.39. So when the basketball comes in, it's coming in at 9.39 feet in diameter. Let me zoom in, and let's correct the scale. I'm going to change the scale by launching my Scale command. Let me come over and click the Scale icon. And in the Select Objects prompt, I will select my basketball, and then I'll right-click to finish my selection. Base point, let's scale him about the center point. I'll just move my cursor on the arc because I have a running object snap set for center, and I'll click. And what is my scale factor? Well, the difference between inches and feet is 1/12. So I'm going to type in 1/12, just like the fraction. And when I hit enter, I've just scaled that basketball to the appropriate size. In fact, if I was to use the move command, select my basketball, Specify a base point. We'll pick any point here. We'll zoom in. It will, in fact, fit through the hoop now. Whether we need to resize our entities as part of a design change or to correct a difference in drawing units, we can accurately make our entities larger or smaller by using the Scale command.